Part man, part machine, all plastic. This is the Neca Ultimate Robocop. This is the 2022 release. Hello mga kababayan, welcome to my channel. Welcome to Laruan ni Obi-Wan. For reference and quick identification on the shelves, let's do a quick 360 of the box packaging. And for those who are interested with regards to searching for this online or at store, then we have the barcodes or serial numbers. Out of your $32 purchase, you have a nice backdrop for displaying this action figure. We have the action figure, a Barrett rifle, the spike data hand, a muzzle device for the Auto 9 pistol, and finally an alternate head sculpt of Peter Wheeler. So let's take a look at the accessories that are included with this Ultimate Robocop figure. So we have a forearm accessory, the data link forearm. So this spike piece, I think that is already molded or possibly glued or possibly stuck onto that forearm piece. So I tried to pull it out, but it won't budge. So instead of breaking it off and ruining this accessory piece, I did not go any further. But with regards to pulling it off and putting it back in, it's just easy. So if you want a Robocop figure with this data link on the forearm, it's possible. So the Auto 9 pistol, this is the details on the Auto 9 pistol. And where is the trigger on the Auto 9? So the Auto 9 of Robocop is based on the Beretta 92 series of pistols, and I know that it is a quite thick pistol. So I also reviewed the movies, and yep, it's the thickness is really not like this. So this is a really thin profile pistol, good for a single stock. So anyway, I think they designed it this way to make it fit on the thigh or inside the thigh of the figure. So that explains possibly the profile, but you are free to replace this Auto 9 with a Gridiron Studios Auto 9 pistol, which they offer for not a really expensive amount. So after this review, I'm going to order one to replace this, and this is going to stay inside the thigh of the figure. So instead of pulling it out, this is going to be a permanent fix. So this pistol also comes with a muzzle device or a muzzle flash, and it is, compared to the pistol, it is a weighty, more solid piece. This is lightweight. This is quite of good mass and weight. So whenever you put this at the end of the pistol, it really weighs down on the pistol. So after about 5 or 2 minutes, you would notice that this would just either fall off or the pistol would be at a different angle when you take a look at your Robocop action figure. So this, it's a good accessory to have. I'm happy that they included one, but as for use, this is going to stay in the box together with the data link forearm. So let's take a look at the most anticipated accessory on this Ultimate Robocop figure, which is the alternate head sculpt. So as to likeness of Peter Wheeler, yes, I could say that it's Peter Wheeler. And this is the side profile, and that is all of the details that is on this head sculpt. And good that they did not have any more articulation point on this head sculpt, so we could have more of the Robocop details that's on it right now. And finally, we have the sniper rifle. So the sniper rifle has a rubber sling. It's non-adjustable, and just be careful with it because you could possibly break it on this point or on that point that is made of really flimsy material. The magazine is non-detachable, but the bipod could be, as you could see, it's quite flimsy. You could fold the tripod this way for a firing position, and you could fold it back in. I'm just surprised that when I took a look at the scope that is included with this sniper rifle, that they did not have a corresponding rear peephole, but instead that looks like a attachment point for wires wherein you attach it to possibly a goggles or a helmet, and that is going to be some type of computer that assists with your shooting, and all you have to do is pull. So I have to review the film once again with regards to this area over here on the scope of the sniper rifle. But for details up front, so we have a little bit of color on the end of the scope, but it really is not so visible. So of all the accessories that are included, which accessory really impresses me, it's going to be the head sculpt. So this is the reason why I also bought this action figure, because when I took a look at it, I was really impressed at the lightness of this head sculpt. So with regards to points of articulation, this is quite a limited articulating figure. So what are the points of articulation that you're going to miss? So we only have a little bit of articulation on the shoulder area. We don't have any cut on the bicep for rotation of the bicep. The elbow on this action figure is a single bend. We don't have any rotation for the thigh. There's a little bit of articulation point on the thigh, but it really isn't that much. We only have a single point of articulation for the knee. We don't have a really nice articulating foot. The foot is only on a hinge, so it does not have a rocker nor a ball wherein you could rotate the foot sideways, because of course you're going to have this on board, and possibly if you have those functions, it's going to break these pistons. So those are the things that you're going to miss on this figure. Okay, so I've discussed what it cannot do, so it is time to show you guys what this action figure can do. So you decide whether it is worth your $32 or not. So with the head sculpt, we have ample side to side motion, looking upwards, not so much, looking downwards. And for the diaphragm area, we have a ball on that diaphragm area. So bending backwards, that much. Bending forwards, I think it's quite limited, but I'm forcing it, so that is the much bend that he could do. So for the waistline, since we have a nice cut on the waistline, just hit this area up really nice and good for about a minute, and you could rotate it 360 degrees. So for the arms, raising the arms sidewards this way is not so really possible because of the armor, chest armor piece. But if you're going to do this, you at least have a little bit more clearance. So for poses, actually for shooting poses, it is quite good. which we are going to show later in the photos and the video shots. So you have a shooting pose this way. We have rotation on the forearm, but we don't have any articulation point on the hand. Same goes with the right forearm. So we have rotation because of course this forearm detaches and you replace it with a data link hand, but we don't have any articulation point on the hand area. No ball or no hinge. So for the hip, that much of bend. For the knee, that much of bend. A little bit of sideways motion. And just be careful when you bend that knee that you don't put pressure on the back of the piston, because you're going to break that piston. So on this right thigh, because we still have that gimmick, so how much does is he able to kick forwards? So that much, kick backwards, that much, and again bend for the knee, so that's 90 degrees. And as for the foot, that is much articulation point you have for the foot, so not really so much because of how the ankle armor is constructed. So included with the box packaging is an instruction manual on how to manipulate the thigh holster. And is it going to help? Actually, yes. So let me show you how it's done. So you have the button and just push gently inwards, forwards to release the thigh holster. So that is how the Auto 9 pistol would be stored inside the holster. And to collapse the whole system, just press this ribbed area forwards and don't manipulate the side skirt, just the front armor of the thigh. So it's going to collapse on itself, and as you could see, the button is re-engaged and you don't have any gaps that is visible on this right thigh or thigh holster area. So as to execution of this gimmick, nicely done, Neca. So let's discuss how to extract and put the pistol in the thigh holster, because this is the thing that is quite difficult, because you're going to manage a really confined space on this thigh. But let me show you. Okay, so with the head of the action figure down, we expose the thigh holster more. So as you could see, it's sitting at an angle, and that point is where the trigger guard would rest. So just place it at an angle this way, and with the trigger guard in, and settle it in first before applying pressure. And once you already situated the pistol that way, so it's time to take hold of the upper area before you snap it in. So as you could see, the pistol is nicely settled on the thigh holster. Extraction is another point, because you need to make use of a tool so as not to possibly loosen this area, because if you're going to use your fingers, of course your fingers is bigger than the space that is allotted for the pistol. So extraction of the pistol, you need to have some sort of tool. which is going to make it easy and simple, and you're not going to stress the thigh holster. So my final thoughts on this Ultimate Robocop figure by Neca. Is it worthy of the Ultimate name? Robocop 2022, that is already sufficient for this Neca figure. But the Ultimate tagline belongs to the Mafex Robocop action figures. But for the price point, you're going to pay more. So somewhere between the $100 to $250 mark. That is for the newer version, which I also made the pre-order, and right now I'm going to cancel it because this Robocop action figure not worthy of the Ultimate name, but with regards to how it looks, it's already a 10 out of 10. With regards to articulation points, well, depends on the action figure collector. For me personally, it's an 8 out of 10. Just sufficient for a Robocop of this time, of this specific design. But if it's going to be the newer Robocop version, which did not star Peter Wheeler, then I would expect more articulation points. But for this specific Peter Wheeler themed or Robocop, I expect just that amount of articulation points. So we have a nice thigh holster, enough articulation points on the body. With regards to the head sculpt, that is where this action figure really shines, because we already have a head sculpt of Peter Wheeler on board with this figure, which is really a plus point. So for $32, not bad, but I just hope that in the future releases by Neca of their future Robocop figures, that they're going to improve this articulation point and not just reissue an old figure with a better paint job and a few accessories on board. So if you like this video, like, comment, and subscribe, and we're ready for the photos and the video shots.